Still, you would think by now I'd be really good at Zoom, but that's not the case. Okay, so can everybody see the presentation? Social media safety, can you see it, Jillian? Okay, awesome. So let's close out all this. Okay, so good morning. Thank you guys for joining. Today we're just gonna go over some basic social media safety issues that you should be aware of. I obviously love social media. That's what I do for my job, my company, but there are things that we have to be aware of in order to protect ourselves. So some dangers of social media include making your location public, being contacted by strangers. There's lots of scams, especially on Facebook right now, faux financial incentives, job opportunities, and people asking for money. So click here and you'll be paid $200 to work for 5 minutes, and it's just not realistic. But unfortunately, people do fall for it and they do click on those. And not securing your account well enough. So having a strong password, using multiple methods to protect your account, like two-factor authentication, which we'll talk about later. So the first thing that we want to hit on, and this one's really important, is making your location public. So a lot of people do this without thinking about it because it's convenient. So if you have your location turned on, if you want to share a picture at, Old Town Pizza Company of your pizza, if you have your location turned on when you try to share it, it will most likely try to check you in to Old Town Pizza Company. So that's really, it's really convenient. But unfortunately, the things we have to worry about include, and guys, these screenshots might vary. They might look a tiny bit different than your phone, depending on if you have an Android or an iPhone, if you've updated, Facebook just changed their layout. These screenshots are from the previous layout, but a lot of people still have it. So everything's still basically in the same place though. When you have your location turned on, you get this feature right here. Everybody can use it. Well, you can click on it. Everybody can click on it, but if you don't have your location turned on, it's not going to work. So if you do have your location turned on, you're going to have this feature on Facebook called Nearby Friends. So this includes all of your Facebook friends who are actively sharing their location at any time. So right here, I know who this is, right? But I've blocked this out for their confidentiality. This person is actively sharing their location, and you can see, if you know Slido well enough, you can see about where they are at that moment. Do you know exactly precisely where they are? No, but you have like a good 1 mile radius idea. So if you're Facebook friends with someone, or if you have a public Facebook profile, which I do not encourage at all, and you're sharing your location, you're openly inviting people to know where you are at any given time. So here's another example. If you have your location turns on, there's also a friends traveling feature, which will show up in your feed, or you can also look at it down here. This is called the hamburger, right? It looks like a bun and a patty. Your hamburger and your 3 dots right here on post, those are your best friend, because anytime you click those, you're expanding your ability to do things. You'll see all kinds of extra options. When you click this, you can see friends traveling, nearby locations, all kinds of stuff. But see this, friends traveling or share their location. So this person is currently sharing their location that they are in Jamaica. I know who this person is. I happen to know they live in Mandeville. And right now I have active information that their home is empty. There's no one there protecting it. And if I know this person well enough to figure out, it's pretty easy, unfortunately, to figure out where someone lives now. All you have to do is search their name, and if they've purchased property in the last couple of years, it will show up online. So in theory, and I also know this person is very successful, so he probably has a decent amount of money or nice items in his home. So it would not be too difficult for me to go to this person's home and break in and steal things. So is that a little extreme? Yes, but when you're considering your safety, we can't take enough precautions. And then right here, it's a screenshot, so I can't scroll over, but this person is currently in Colorado. So, if I scrolled over a little bit, you would see their photo and exactly where they are in Colorado. So I think that's a little scary for me. So what you want to do is when you go to the your location feature, again, you're going to use this hamburger down here. You can click this on or off. So I turned this on just for the sole purposes of getting screenshots for the presentation. But all you have to do is turn this off. And I'm going to show you guys where this is at. And also something important to note is if you have location turned on, there will be a history in Facebook of wherever you've been. So if you had it turned on for a year, you can go back and look at every place you were for the past year. Now, would this benefit you in the court of law potentially if you were trying to prove your innocence, like as an alibi? Potentially. But I think that's a very extreme case. So I do recommend turning this off. I don't think that if you leave it on, your life is in immediate jeopardy, but I do think it makes you more prone to scams. And then right here, this is another nearby friends panel. And this is a little more scary because this friend checked in at Sweet Rolls. So if I had seen this notification as soon as she checked in, there's only one Sweet Rolls in Slidell, and I know she lives in Slidell. I could immediately go over there and try to talk to her, you know, if I was being rude or trying to make her uncomfortable or a stalker. Again, this isn't too difficult. And then this other person is within 3 miles of me. So again, 3 miles is not too big. If I know her well enough, I can probably pin down where she is. So if you want to turn this off, it's totally up to you. Hamburger down at the bottom. Ooh, let's see if we can pause him. So you see when you hit the hamburger, if you're on an Android, it might be up at the top. You have a lot of different options, what groups you're in, what events you have hit interested in or been invited to, your friends, Facebook Marketplace, et cetera, et cetera. So right here is where your nearby friends are if you want to check that. But we're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom. All the way down, and we're going to hit settings and privacy. Okay, so you've got a lot of different options here, and what I like about privacy shortcuts is that Facebook recognizes that their privacy settings are so complicated at this point that they have set it up to where you can see each subject matter in a specific chunk. And you can also hit privacy checkup, and you can go through their guided tour basically of what you want your privacy settings to be. So I'm gonna show you guys how to do that too. Ooh, hang on. That's the only bad thing about Prezi. They like to go a little crazy. Okay, all right. Okay, so we go all the way down to privacy settings. Geez, guys, wow. Everybody hang on, we're on a roller coaster. Okay, let's try to get back here to him. I won't hit the play button or the pause button because he doesn't like that. Okay, so if you need a review, there you go, your hamburger. We're gonna go all the way down to settings. Your settings and privacy. And then you wanna hit your privacy shortcuts. So again, this is just little blocks of things that are important to keep in mind when you're dealing with Facebook or any other social media. So you can see that I turned off location history under the location settings tab. And Jillian is gonna have this recorded. So if you want to rewatch this presentation, you can, because I know that's kind of a fast video. All right, crisis response. We're gonna go to our hamburger. This is another feature offered by Facebook. You have to hit see more in most cases, and that just extends way more things that you can do. And we have crisis response right here. This is the one situation where Facebook knowing your location is actually a positive thing. Facebook implemented crisis response a couple of years ago in an attempt to bring people together during a crisis. So on crisis response pages, this is a screenshot I took when Hurricane Barry was coming through last summer. This is the crisis response page specifically for Hurricane Barry. So if I'm being impacted by that hurricane or that earthquake or flood, I can hit find help. So assuming I still have access to a phone and maybe I'm trapped somewhere, maybe I need food, whatever it is, I can hit find help and I can post in here and ask for help, which I think is a really, really cool feature. Or if I'm perfectly safe, but I want to be a good person or I care about the people being impacted, I can also offer help. And finally, I can donate to the cause. So maybe I can't directly help. Maybe I'm across the country, something like the California wildfires. I can't really do anything from here, but I can donate. And I do want to reassure everybody that when you donate to nonprofits through Facebook, they do get those proceeds, and they do get 100% of them. I used to be in the nonprofit sector for about 13 years, and whenever we ran Facebook fundraisers, we always got the funds. So that's a really nice thing to know, because you can set up a birthday fundraiser for a cause that you care about, or when you donate through a crisis response feature like this, you can be, rest assured knowing that it's actually going to help someone. And so I just scrolled down because you can look through all of the different crises that are currently going on during that time. And again, whatever you care about, you can learn more about it, or you can donate to it. So I really like this feature. This is one of the things I love about social media. There are some downsides to having the world brought together by social media, but this is a huge upside. So I do like that. And then here's a little description. Crisis response lets people affected by crises tell friends they're safe, find or offer help, and get the latest news and information. So if you are interested, I'd encourage you to look through that and kind of become familiar with it, because as everybody knows, we're in hurricane season, and there was a crisis response page for Hurricane Laura, Sally, and Delta. So I thought that was really cool that people had access to that. So common scams, these are mostly on Facebook. I have one on Instagram I'm going to show you, but Facebook is unfortunately a breeding ground for scams. So accounts imitating your friends. A couple of years ago, this phenomenon started popping up where I noticed I would get these spam messages, and it appeared as though they would come from someone I recognized. And what I did, realizing that this was a scammer, I initially assumed that their account had been hacked. But if you clicked on the person's profile photo to go to their profile, they only had 2 friends, and the account had been created 2 days ago. So essentially what had happened is that this person had a friend who left their friends list public, or her profile was public, and that enabled a scammer to download her profile photo. Obviously it's easy to copy and paste her name, even on private profiles, created a shell fake account. And then because her friends list is public, because anybody can see who she's friends with, regardless of her privacy settings, they can go into her friends list and message everybody on her friends list as if they are her. It's pretty sneaky. It's actually a little scary that people are this creative. I'm like, if you're this smart, you probably could have created your own business and been just fine. But the point is that it's good to hide your friends list. And I never understood why people would do that before this started happening. But if you hide your friends list in your privacy settings, which if you go through the privacy checkup, it'll show you how to do that. You're preventing anyone from attacking your friends, basically, which I think is really cool. Now, I knew this person was fake, and I wanted some cool screenshots for this class, so I engaged with this person. And a good reason for engaging too is because if you ask some questions, if you're unsure if this person is fake or real, if you ask a couple of questions, you can very quickly figure it out. So I hadn't spoken to this person face to face in probably a year. This person used to volunteer at the nonprofit that I worked at. We were Facebook friends, but we had not spoken in a very long time. So they said hello. I said, hi, name here. How are you doing? I'm doing wonderfully. I hope all is well with you. And I said, I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Good to hear from you also. And I don't know if you've heard of the GGF yet. I said, I'm sorry, I haven't. It's the government Green Grant Fund program that gives out funds, consideration to help people maintain good standard of living, New Year bonus, eradicate poverty, et cetera, et cetera. And so I said, are we still on for our plans to go eat tomorrow? No. Why? And obviously this person doesn't know who she is. They don't know who I am. So I played along for a while to get these screenshots. It's pretty entertaining. And the longer I entertain them, the less time they have to scam someone else. But if you're not comfortable with this, go ahead and block them. Report the account, which I'll show you guys how to do. But if you read through this, it's just very apparent that this is a scam. And you can get some ideas of good questions to ask in order to flush these people out. So let's see. Oh, this is funny. How much money do I need to send you? If I send $500, I will get $50,000 for it. So, and I said, I'm sorry, I don't have that. How much money do you have? I can help you with the rest. So what you can do again is just go to their profile and kind of look at it, and we'll point out some other things that you need to keep an eye out for, but these red flags should be popping up, right? No friends, newly created account, doesn't, is not speaking in a way that this person normally speaks, and is asking for money. This is another instance where this happened to a different friend of mine. And what was interesting is that this says using Messenger without Facebook. So that means someone is on a cell phone and they are messaging me using the Facebook Messenger app, but they're not actively using Facebook itself. So that's odd. That alone does not mean it's not her, but that's something that you have to be aware of. The next thing that's a red flag, logged in using a phone number from the United States. Okay, account was recently created. So they're using a phone number to log in. They're using Messenger without Facebook, and the account's pretty new. So someone is sitting on a burner phone, whether it's here or in another country, and they're trying to find people, recreating accounts, and trying to get money. I had already engaged with the previous one. I didn't need more screenshots, so I took a screenshot of this, and what's nice is that Facebook filters out messages from people you don't know too. So you have to go to your message requests folder to see these in the first place. When you go to your message requests folder, which are messages received by people you are not friends with, you can choose, I don't want to hear from them. It just deletes it. It doesn't say you've read it. You have to reply in order for the conversation to continue. So I didn't reply, and I clicked, I don't want to hear from this person. And then I was able to report the conversation. And then I also went to their profile to report the profile as a scam account. Also, if you guys didn't know, there's all kinds of ways to make free money on Facebook. That's a joke. Unfortunately, these buy-sell trade groups are a hub of activity for scams. If you run a Facebook group, the best thing that you can do for yourself and the people who are part of it is to turn on post approvals. So this means that anytime somebody tries to post, you, or as an administrator, if you run the group, or an admin, if you're part of another group, has to read that post and hit approve before the rest of the group actually sees it. Most of these groups don't have that. So you could post something offensive right now, and it might not be taken down until several hours later, and it's already been seen by people. So this person posted in the buy-sell trade group for Picayune and Slidell. We're still giving out $220 to the first 120 people who comment cash, just like we did last week. It starts now. And you immediately have some poor person who comments cash. All right. Oh, here's the link. Click on its register now, submit your email. So I do not encourage you to click on this link. Do not do it, whether they want your email so they can send you scam emails, whether they send you to a place where you can wire money to them, whatever it is, you don't want to click on this. Anything that takes you away from Facebook, just make sure you're reading the URL. So this is online bizzo ppgyg blogspot.com. And this says making me $77 an hour, which is already different from what the post said in the first place. But again, I want to show you guys what would happen if you did do these things. So I decided to click on it, and it brought me to 24-hour money problem solution. Discover how to get the #1 trick for making me $77 per hour, 24/7. So even while I'm asleep, I can make $77 an hour. It's super easy, and it can make me money today. It takes 5 minutes. So then I hit get started now, because again, I'm curious. Don't encourage that. Well, now I'm on a survey page. So what this person has done, they're probably an employee or a freelancer for this survey company, and they have routed you here. And when you take a survey, they get your email and they get marketing information on you. And I don't know because I didn't hit it, but it's also safe to assume that they will ask you for other personal information as well. So always be wary of things like that. So I wanted to show you guys a good way to flush out these fake accounts. I mentioned that earlier. So this person, right, Bray, I clicked on their picture, which takes me to their profile. And we've got a picture here, no cover photo. That's a little strange, but not everyone uses a cover photo. I do encourage you to do it. It makes your account look more legitimate. And there's a picture of this person, Bray. Their biography literally just says business. Okay, so kind of weird, but not too fishy yet. So I went to their, if you hit right here, see their about info, and it says female, other names. So what's really cool about this is you can see if someone has changed their Facebook profile name. So because now if she maybe went by a nickname, but still have the last name, and I could tell it was the same person, fine. But because this is so drastically different, this is a big red flag. Why would this person change their name from this to Bray, unless they were trying to imitate someone, right? So I scrolled down a little bit, and you can see that this screenshot was taken, I believe, on June 15th. And this person had just made this profile photo on June 10th, a couple days prior. So that's, again, not super fishy, but all this added up is not looking good. So I don't think that this is a legitimate account. This person literally has no friends, so huge red flag, not one friend. If they had their friends list hidden, there would be a message there that you couldn't see the friends, but this person has no friends. So I decide that I'm going to report the account, because if I do that, the hope is that I'm going to help prevent this person from scamming other people. So again, anytime you're on Facebook or social media, these three dots are your best friend. We're going to click those, and we are going to give feedback and report this profile. And there's various options you can choose. You can choose spam. I believe this account was hacked. Etc. So just pick the one you think is most relevant to the situation. And then once you've reported them, it will give you the option to block them. If you don't see that, you can always go back here and block them, which I always do. If I'm going to report someone, I think their account's fake, I'm going to block them. I don't have to deal with it ever again. Okay, so let's go back to the original post. This is obviously a scam. Again, I want to help people. I don't want anybody to get, their money stolen or get their email hacked as a result of this. And this stuff isn't always obvious to everybody. So that's why I do these classes. I think it's really important to educate everybody on it. So again, we're going to hit these three dots. And what I want to do is two things. This is a post inside a group. And the admins, it's been 3 hours, and the administrators of the group have not taken it down yet. So they haven't seen it. So what I'm going to do is report this post to the group administrators, okay? And then I'm going to go ahead and report them, get feedback on this post, and report it to Facebook as well. So now I have two potential things in the air of having this post removed as quickly as possible. So side note, if you ever want to save, if you say like a recipe or something, you can save this to your saved posts, and you can refer back to that anytime you want, as long as the person who posted it never deletes it. So that's really cool. All right, so when I report it to the admins, what does it do? Does it break the group rules? Is it harassment, spam, nudity, violence, other? It does technically break group rules, but more importantly, this is spam. So I'm going to hit that and send to admins, give feedback and report this post, report that as spam, and report it to Facebook. So now the administrators have a report on it and Facebook has a report on it. Now, if you run a group and you get a lot of posts that are reported to the admins, and Facebook ends up removing those posts, your group quality can be lowered. So it's really important to stay on top of this and implement post approvals. That way, if it doesn't get approved, it can't hurt your group. Because Facebook wants the groups to be a safe space. So if your group is constantly the reason that people are posting things that need to be removed, your group is going to suffer for that. All right. There's also a lot of great job opportunities on social media. So this is again on Facebook. And again, in one of the buy sell trade groups, this is specifically North Shore Garage Sale Online. Now, I want to point something out. These groups are great to find something you want to purchase or sell. But now, a couple of years ago, right here at the bottom, you can see this little store. Facebook Marketplace was implemented. Facebook Marketplace is basically Craigslist, but better and on Facebook. So essentially, you can go to Facebook Marketplace to purchase something or sell something. So why you would need to be in one of these groups is beyond my understanding right now. So my point is that you don't need to be in these groups to find things for sale or sell them yourself. If you go to Facebook Marketplace, you can put where you want to sell it, where you're at, what the object is. You can take pictures of it, put a description, what condition it's in. And obviously, if you are doing this, if you're exchanging items and money with people online, I encourage you to meet in a public place. You can meet in the police department parking lot. They're totally okay with that, and they're used to it. It happens quite frequently. But getting back to this person posted, Amazon is hiring now, work from home, $25.25 an hour, free laptop and iPhone for the first 100 workers. That's amazing. I've never gotten that kind. I've never gotten $25 an hour, a free laptop, and a free iPhone. That's great. That's a really good deal. So we've got this Good Samaritan here who put fraud. It does take time for posts to be removed. So if you're sure something is a scam and you want to comment in there to warn other people, highly encourage that. So what we're going to do again is, this is North Shore Garage Sale for Louisiana. So we're going to click on this person's profile and see if we can determine if they're truly somebody who's recruiting for Amazon. So this person had advertised a job for Amazon in the US, and they live in Nigeria. So that's the first kind of strange red flag, but there are plenty, especially now coronavirus, there are plenty of jobs that are being done online and overseas. So still not too strange. But another red flag is the lack of a profile photo. And then if you go, I don't have a screenshot, but if you go to the about info, again, you're looking for number of friends. Someone can also have 600 friends, but if you click on the first few friends, those accounts might be fake. So it takes just a little bit of digging, but once you've done this, you've saved yourself from a scam. And if you want to take it a step further and help other people too, that's awesome. So here's another post. We're back in the Picayune buy sell trade group. And these were taken across time, over months of time. So this is a recurring problem, unfortunately. To anyone looking to work from home, Amazon, again, is offering a work from home job. The $27 an hour, what time, no hype, no BS, not here to scams, nor waste your time. Do the job, get paid. So you can also see that Blogspot, unfortunately, that's the second time we've seen a Blogspot link that's being used to as a landing page to scam people. So that's also a red flag. Let's go ahead and click on that person's account. They don't have a photo of a human in their cover photo or their profile photo. That's a little strange, but again, some honest people, that's just how they want their profile to look. So that's not immediately gonna turn me off. I'm going to scroll down and look at the friends. So this person does have a lot of friends. The very first one is a chicken. So probably not legitimate. And when I clicked on that profile, it had no friends. So the point is that a lot of effort went into making this look like a true account. So you can see all friends and you can go through and check just a couple and determine whether or not you think it's legitimate. So I've determined this is not legitimate, that it's a scam. I'm going to hit my 3 dots. I'm going to find support or report post. And I'm going to report it to Facebook. Let's see if I would have to hit see more for this one for some reason to report it to an admin. Okay. Oh, and again, I clicked on the link. I want to be able to show you guys the downfalls of doing this. I don't want you to click on the link yourself, but when I did, this is the result that I got. Earn $250 to $500 a day, online working less than 3 hours per day. These geos, first of all, are just too good to be true. So if anything sounds too good to be true, that's another red flag. So we've got flags popping up all over the place. And I didn't click on the click for access one for that. Here's some miscellaneous. Scams is a strong word for it, more like chain mail, but on Facebook. This is a popular one. It gets copied and pasted around. It circulates once in a while. Thank you for telling me how to do the bypass. This is good to know. It's ridiculous to have a bunch of friends and only some are allowed to see my posts. So you probably noticed that, let's say you have 200 Facebook friends, and most of the time you probably only see about 25 people on your main feed. The Facebook algorithm wants to show you what you care about most. So the people that you comment on their posts, people, pages, and groups, that you react to their posts and that you share them. So if you like a Facebook page for a business and you never interact with them, that is going to fall lower and lower on the algorithm's priority list. And at some point, you won't even see it at all. So the point is that this person, whoever initially created this, is trying to say, if you copy and paste this, you will see all of your friends and you'll see everything that you want to in your newsfeed. It's absolutely not true. This does nothing. Is it harmful? Not really. It is fake news, so to speak, but it's a waste of time for people and it's just not true. So if you ever see something like this, you can even comment, hey, I'm so sorry, but this isn't real. It doesn't actually work, just so people aren't fooled by it. Another popular one is the Facebook photos court ruling that people like to share. So basically, you guys can read this when you get the link later if you want to go back and look at it. But basically, it says that I'm copy and pasting this to say that Facebook does not have my permission to share photos or messages. Guys, you have a Facebook account. They already have everything they need. You copying and pasting this is not going to prevent whatever they think that they're preventing. You can look in the Facebook policies and you can read those yourself if you're curious to see what Facebook says about the copyrights that they claim on the things that you post. It's pretty complicated, but the point is doing this is not going to improve the situation for you at all. So don't waste your time. This is another one. If you've ever seen a post that has gone viral or just for some reason has a ton of comments and reactions and there's a lot of activity on it, maybe like a funny fat cat video or something, we know I like those. You'll see that these scammers, when something's bolded like this, it's a link. So this was when Lion King first came out. And this person says, watch it for the full movie for free. And I did not click that, but if you click it, again, you're looking at someone asking for your email address, asking for money, and it's just a scam. So don't even worry about it. If you see these in the comments, I don't know why the 3 dots are not in this screenshot, but you'll see, oh, that's because you can click and hold the comment and you can report that as well. And it'll be hidden until Facebook looks at it, which is good. So I do encourage you guys to report those if you see them. Okay, now, the good news is that it's not super common anymore for your actual Facebook account to be hacked. Because there are so many good security measures put in place, which we're going to talk about in just a second, it's very unlikely that someone's account is actually going to be hacked into and compromised. Unfortunately, it still happens though. So this happened to a friend of mine, and you know, this is an odd, is your video, right? And what they've done is they've included the YouTube logo to make it look like a YouTube video. And then if I click this link, it's not YouTube, URL's ES. So just putting the pieces together, this isn't going to take me to YouTube. This isn't something that she would say to me. I know this person. And I had to block out, you know, other things that she had said that identify her. But unfortunately, her account had been hacked. She had to report it to Facebook. They got rid of the hacker and she had to change her password. And it's a whole big deal. So I'm going to teach you guys how to prevent that. Really quickly, one example of scams on Instagram. You don't use Instagram, that's great. And I encourage you to try it. It's a cool platform. But here's an example of a scam that you might get in your messages on Instagram. So unfortunately, people do fall for this. On Instagram, it's important to have a lot of followers, right? If you're a business, it looks good for you to have followers. It looks like you have a good product or service. And people get impatient. And so they get these messages, do you want to purchase followers? So what happens if you purchase these followers is that someone has gone and made a bunch of shell accounts, and depending on how much you're willing to pay, they will go follow your account. So for just $10, you could earn 1,000 followers. Now, what's the problem with this? First of all, I don't trust this person. How do I know I'm going to get these followers? Secondly, there will either be fake robot accounts, or there'll be people who are not related to my product or service whatsoever. So you always want your likes on your business page for Facebook and your followers on your business Instagram to be people who have the potential to become your customer. You want these people to like your content and engage with it, because then the content is going to perform better, and then you'll get natural followers that way, people who actually want to be involved with you. If you don't care about all that, it's against Instagram policy to purchase followers. If you do it, your account, if one person reports your account, all Instagram has to do is take one look at it. Oh yeah, those are completely fake followers, and they will shut you down. So in the end, it's not worth it. But how convenient, you can pay this person via PayPal right now. So definitely stay away from that. This person is scamming people. They're doing something against Instagram policy. So I'm going to report them. So you can accept the message just like Facebook. I can immediately block the person, or I can just delete it. So I clicked block, and they said why. And I said it's spam. And then I ended up blocking the account. So because why would I ever want to hear from this person again? So the block feature is your best friend. All right, I'm going to go through this as quickly as I can. Your privacy settings, when you scroll down again on the hamburger, or if you're on a desktop, it's on your left-hand side. Your privacy settings are really complicated and detailed. So I encourage you, if you have some free time, to sit down and look through all of it, because there's a lot there. And the more you look through it, the more educated you'll be about what you're doing and your involvement on social media is. So here's our menu. We've hit the hamburger, okay? And we're gonna hit settings and privacy. So, or privacy shortcuts, whichever. And here, again, we've got these blocks of information. So they have very conveniently organized everything for you. So if I'm concerned about my privacy, I'll go to this block. If I'm concerned about advertisements, I'll go to that block. So if you want to check on your privacy settings, you can hit this review a few important privacy settings. I really like that because, like I said earlier, it's basically a guided tour of your privacy settings, and it specifically asks you what you want. So this dumbs it down for us. Essentially, it makes it a lot easier. You can also read their policies about privacy, manage your location settings, right? We did that earlier because we don't want our location to be visible. You can turn on or off face recognition, and there's more. So if you want to review the privacy settings, it's going to take you through a couple of things. Okay, we're starting your privacy checkup, just a few steps. And the first thing it's going to ask you is, when you post on your profile, who do you want to see those posts? So you can click your friends, you can click public, or you can click only me. And there's even an option for special lists. So this is my mom. I made this list just as an example. I don't have anything to hide from my mother. But you can choose a custom list when you share things with people. So I mentioned in all of my classes that I'm Facebook friends with a lot of business owners and people in our parish government. So I don't always want to post those funny fat cat videos for everybody to see. So I could create a list that says business contacts, and I could choose to share a post to everybody on my list except, or everybody who is my friend except my business contacts list. Or if for some reason you don't want somebody in your hometown to see something that you posted, you could create a list with everybody from your hometown. You could create a best friends list. You want only your best friends to see that. So that's a cool feature that you can use too. I'm going to choose friends. Only my friends can see my posts. I do not want it to be public. And then it's going to ask for your, contact information. I just blocked this out because it's my personal information, not my business info. For your birthday, you can choose to turn the year off if you're insecure about it, or if you're concerned about providing your full birthday on social media. Your hometown, your relationship, you don't have to fill this out, but I do have the very basics filled out. And you can see the year I have is as only me, but the date of my birthday, my friends can see. My phone number, only I can see. I don't care if my friends have my personal email. Obviously, my friends, it's fine if they know I'm married, etc. So that's very cool that you can do these very specific actions for your profile. You do have a lot of control when it comes to social media. Now it's asking about apps. These are apps or applications and websites from other companies that you have logged into Facebook through. I don't encourage you, a lot of times when you try to play a new game, it will ask you, do you want to log in as this game through Facebook? And you're essentially giving that app permission to access your account at any given time. The only app that I'm okay with doing that is Goodreads. I love to read, and Goodreads is basically Facebook for people like me. So I can add books to my to be read list. Jillian and I were just talking about this. You can move books that you've read and books that you're currently reading. It's a really cool platform, and I trust them. So I am okay. It is convenient when I get on the Goodreads app because I'm logged in through Facebook. I don't have to worry about typing in my password. And it used to be that I could also share posts from Goodreads about what I was reading. So if you have multiple apps here and you're like, I don't remember that, what is this? You can remove them at this point, which is good. And even though I'm fine with Goodreads, I chose that they cannot post for me. And that if they tried to post something, it would only I would see it. So make sure you're looking very carefully at all of that. Your about section, again, this is up to you. If you want to put where you work, if you want to describe what your job is, I did because I'm a business owner. So anybody who goes to my business or my personal account can click to go to my business account. So that's beneficial for me as a business owner, but you can see when I worked at the Humane Society, I didn't provide any additional info because it wasn't necessary. Here's some other privacy settings. Who can see your future posts? So your account may have been public for the last 5 years, but moving forward, who do you want to see it? Also, what's great is, oh crap, my account's been public. I didn't realize it's been public for 5 years. Limit who can see past posts. You can click on that, and everything you've ever posted, you can make it public or you can make it private for your friends only or only me. The reason I like this is because even though my profile is public, my profile is private, I'm sorry. I like to share fundraisers for nonprofits, and I make those public so that if one of my friends shares that, it's not going to show up as have you ever seen a post that says, you can't see this because the person who shared it with a specific audience. So if my profile is private and I make a post, not one that's shared, if I make a post organically on my own and my friend tries to share that and it's friends only, you won't be able to see it unless you're already my friend. So the point is that I can limit, after those fundraisers are long done and gone, I would say every 6 months I go here and I limit past posts, because why would I scroll through all of my newsfeed and look, did I share that with friends or public? One button and I can limit all of it. This is nice too. Remember we talked about how friends lists, if they're visible, your friends can be attacked by scammers. So who can see people, pages, and lists you follow? I set that to only me. So no one, even if we are Facebook friends, you can't see who my Facebook friends are. And that's good, because if you want to do something nefarious to them, you'd have no clue who they are. Who can send you friend requests? There are two options: friends of friends or anyone. When I had anyone on, I got friend requests from all over the country. Some of them people who just wanted to connect, and some of them who were scammers. So highly recommend friends of friends. So only people who are Facebook friends with anyone on your friends list can send you a request. So you have to have some relationship, even if it's distant, for someone to send you a request. Now, I have met people before at networking events, and we had no mutual friends. So one of us had to turn this feature off for just a moment, send the request, accept it, and turn it back on. That doesn't happen often enough for me to turn it back to anybody can send a request. Oh, again, who can see your friends list? Only me. So I misspoke. Up here, these are the pages, groups that you're part of. So I put only me for that. And then these are the actual Facebook friends that you have. So I've limited both of those. And I'm sure that's a good thing, because I've liked probably 200 pages by now. Who can look you up using your email address? If you're my friend, you probably have my email address. So I've set it to friends are the only people who can look me up using my email. Face recognition, you just choose whether or not you're comfortable with that. Unfortunately, if it makes you uncomfortable, it is becoming more common and very convenient, especially if you're bad about forgetting your passwords. You can just have your face scanned. But whatever you're comfortable with, you choose it, and you can select it here. The next block is your account security. This is where you can change your email address, your phone number here as well. Upload contacts from your email address if you want to connect with them on Facebook, confirm your identity, etc. And you can deactivate your account right here if you choose to. Deactivation is not deletion. If you deactivate your Facebook account, which is what they want you to do, you can come back at any time. The second you log back in, it's like you never left. If you want to be permanently removed from Facebook, you have to delete your account. Here's where you can change your password. I would encourage you to change your password. I know it's annoying, every 6 months. And that can be as small as changing the symbol at the end of it, or adding a symbol. For the longest time, I used words and numbers. And I kept having to change my password so much that I started adding in the $sign, the percentage sign, exclamation point, right? And you can keep a secure spreadsheet on your computer with your passwords if you're worried about forgetting them. But definitely change your password regularly, and that's definitely going to reduce the amount of opportunity people have to take over your account. This is important. I have login alerts turned on. I don't want a Facebook message about it. I don't want an email about it, but I do want a notification. So I get a notification on my phone if my Facebook account is logged into from an unrecognized location or browser. So this means that if someone in Colorado tries to log into my Facebook and they do so successfully, I get a notification that says, hey, we noticed this login. Is this you, or do you want to report this? So the good news is 99% of the time it's been me, because I've got multiple phones, right, to do Instagram for my clients. So I have to log in from a lot of different places. I have a laptop, I have this computer, I have my husband's computer. So what you can do as well is go look and see where you're logged in at. And if anything looks weird, you can log yourself out of that location and then go change your password. So I definitely encourage you to have login alerts turned on. Two-factor authentication is probably the best thing you can do to protect yourself. It's annoying, but basically it means that you have to go, if I want to hack your account, I have to not only know your password, but somehow be able to authenticate myself as the account owner. Meaning, right now I have to put my password in, and then if it's a new browser, they text me a code and I have to put that code in. So the only way somebody could get into your account at that point is if you got a phone call and they said, hey, we're trying to, saw something wrong with your bank account. This happens. So we need you to let us know what the code is when we send it to you. And that did happen to somebody that I listened to on a podcast. And he was like, this is odd. I'm not going to do that. So there's two ways that it's extra protection. They'll ask for a login code. So you can use SMS as a text message or an authenticator app. So I just have text. That's easy for me. I'm comfortable with it. I had somebody in a previous class say, I do not want my phone number on Facebook. No problem. You can use an authenticator app. So when you click that, it'll give you options and suggestions. They're free. And basically, that's basically the same, except it's going to send you one of those QR codes. Okay, so you have to choose a security method. And I chose text. So enter the code that it texted you. There's the text message. Copy and paste. I put the code in. I'm going to hit next. It's on. It's as simple as that. And if you do the Authenticator app, it'll be a very similar process. Let's see. Get text about notifications, new messages, posts, and more. I have that turned off specifically for that. And I finished it. Add preferences. I am okay being advertised to. I like that if I Google something, a product that I like, I see suggestions for other things. I don't often click on ads or purchase anything from them, but it doesn't bother me. But it does bother some people, and that's okay. It's understandable. Ads, especially on Facebook, are very, very meticulously researched. The algorithm takes all kinds of data from your activity to process and give you an ad that they hope you will click on. If that makes you uncomfortable, you can turn that off. So you can turn off ads based on data from your partners. So from their partners, Facebook partners. And you can turn off ads for Facebook company products that you see elsewhere, websites, app, devices. So basically that means you can't turn ads off completely, but you can turn off the ability for them to grab that information and send you ads specifically tailored to you. So you'll still get ads, but they won't be relevant to you. So you can just scroll right past. And ads, they include your social actions. So if there's an advertisement and you decide to heart react to it, you can limit who sees that interaction. So if I react to an ad, I don't want that anybody to be able to click on my name. So I limit that action being viewable to only my friends. And then this is again, ads based on, so the good news is it's a little confusing, but as you go through, they are explicitly explaining to you what this is and what it means. So if you allow us to use data from partners, you'll see ads more relevant to you. Or if you don't, you'll still see the same number, but they won't be as relevant. And then ads based on data from partners. Again, how do we use this data? They explain that. And then whatever you're comfortable with, this isn't a huge safety issue. You choose whether or not you want to allow that. And then this is the final one, ads on apps and websites off the Facebook. Let's see, and it explains if you allow this, you'll see ads that are more interesting and relevant to you. Same concept. So I'm okay with that. I'm gonna hit yes. And your Facebook information. So basically you can see what you've done. This is really cool, your activity log. You can see everything that you've liked, if you heart react to a post, if you like a new Facebook page, if you join a group, if you share a photo, that's all gonna show up in your activity log. Here is where we delete our account, okay? Manage your information and access it. So this is gonna take us step by step through all of that. This wants to know, it says we categorize this information by type. You can find what you're looking for. So this is basically saying, hey, here's everything that you've done on Facebook. And if for some reason you want to find something, you can go here. These are posts that you've shared, photos that you've shared, comments you've made, likes and reactions, and so on and so forth. And then finally, we have the safety center. So what I really like about, what I really like, if I went through all this, you guys would be here all day. So again, I encourage you to go in and look at all these and click on these. The safety center basically is a place where you can look into how Facebook affects certain things, what you should be doing on Facebook, what you shouldn't. So a lot of what we talked about, I really like that. You can find resources for parents. So if you're a parent, you're probably concerned about your child being on social media. So you can click that. And I really like this because cyberbullying, unfortunately, is increasing rapidly. And it does lead to more suicides in children. So help prevent bullying. I think that's a really cool feature that Facebook added. And then if you are so bored one day that you want to read through the terms of service, the data policy, cookie policy, community standards, you go right ahead. My job as a social media strategist for my clients is to make sure that we're not posting anything that violates these rules. So I do regularly go and look through here to make sure that we are good to go, especially community standards. So for example, a lot of people post giveaways on their Facebook page, and they will say, tag 3 friends and share for 4 entries. If you go look into the Facebook policy, you're not actually allowed to require somebody to tag a friend. So if Facebook comes across that, they will remove the giveaway post, and they might give your page a violation or shut it down. And most people don't know that, and they shouldn't have to, but if you know a business who is doing this, just make sure that they're aware of it and that they're looking through and reading everything. So what are the takeaways? That was a lot of info in a little, just an hour. So the best thing you can do, again, is just go become familiar with it yourself. Get on your phone or your desktop and look into everything. Facebook has a lot to offer. A lot of it is really cool, but a lot of it's dangerous too. So your takeaways, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Never reveal your real-time location. If you want to check in to support a local business, you can do that when you get home. So that girl who went to Sweet Rolls, she could eat Sweet Rolls, take a picture of it, go home, and then post that photo that she used to be at Sweet Rolls. Doesn't affect the post, right? And if you're on vacation, do not post that you're away. You can post all the beach pictures and all the beautiful Colorado wilderness pictures you want when you get back. Report profiles and posts that seem suspicious because we want to help people and prevent them from getting scammed. And let friends know if their profile is compromised. I didn't mention that. When those fake accounts message me as my friend, I message their real account and let them know so that they could post on their timeline. Do not accept a new friend request from me. Do not open the message or click on that link from me from the fake profile. And then change your password regularly. And of course, if something weird happens, like a strange login. And finally, make a habit of reviewing your privacy settings to see if anything has been added by Facebook that's new. And that's it. So if you guys have questions, you can leave a comment in the chat box, or I'm sure you can email the library and they'll put you in touch with me.
Yeah, that's fine.
But thank you so much.
Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you.
Review my settings again because I haven't done it in a while.
See, there you go.
Yep. All right, y'all. Thanks. Have a great day.
Thank you.